Hey guys, this is Clay from Deep South Bushcraft and Self-Reliance. Going to talk about our next piece of kit today, the Ferro Rod. So, let me get the camera adjusted and we'll get started on it. Zoom in a little for you guys here. Now, ferro rods come in all different sizes and shapes. You can get really big ones, really small ones. Both of these are from the Pathfinder store. This one's 5, this one's 20, and you see the difference in the size of the rod there. Do be careful when you're buying them. I got this one for $5 on the internet, and if you guys can see, this is the only ferro rod part. All of this is crap. But, you know, it still throws sparks and all that stuff. But, you know, I didn't get what I paid for. I do recommend buying them from a reputable dealer like the Pathfinder store or something like that, so you get what you pay for. But you know, your lighter has probably several hundred strikes in it. These, depending on how you use it, may have several thousand, and also depending on the size, of course. So, talking about ferro rods, first let's talk about the way we use them. So I'm just going to use the striker that come along with it to start with. The way you use a ferro rod is either you hold your striker still. I guess I could turn so you guys can see what I'm doing. You hold your striker still, put your ferro rod on it, and you pull the ferro rod. Or you bury your ferro rod in your tinder and strike down it. And to me, that depends on what I'm lighting. This is a little bird's nest of jute twine, and if I'm lighting something like this, then I'm just gonna hold my striker still, pull my ferro rod, lights right up. Now that's a very combustible tinder. The same thing with some type of Surefire or something like that. But if I'm lighting something, get this out of here. If I'm lighting something a little more coarse, like a piece of fat wood, I'm just going to take one of our knives. And feather this out a little bit to give us a little surface area. You know, that's pretty coarse material, but it does have an accelerant in it. If I'm going to light something like that, I'm going to put my ferro rod on it. Oh, almost. There. And strike down it like that. Now, I do use up my ferro rod. You guys see that sparklers a lot quicker. Like that. Now, everybody talks about the ferro rod versus mesh metal. They're the same thing. The only difference is some ferro rods are harder than others, so you don't get those after sparklers like that. It just throws sparks. It all depends on what you want, what you're used to. But, you know, either ferro rod you get, in my opinion, that's the two ways you use it. Now, let's talk about strikers. There's no reason you can't find something to strike your ferro rod if you lose the striker that comes with it. I actually broke the striker that comes with this one. This is it right here. Just a little piece of metal that's set in there. But, you know, that gives me some sparks. I have a flint and steel kit from the Pathfinder store that doubles as a striker. Now it strikes pretty good. My favorite bushcraft knife from Ramsey Knife Works. Those really good sparks. A $14 little cheapo fillet knife. Those really good sparks. You can use a rock. If you have a sharp enough edge. Right? Not great sparks, but it works. Piece of glass. Throws pretty good sparks. Most people carry a multi-tool, and everybody worries about, oh, striking a knife blade. Well, you don't really have to. You know, the pliers on this thing by itself, those pretty good sparks. You can use the saw, you can use the back of the knife. A lot of people carry a Baco saw with them. Get those good sparks. Now a Mora knife, unless you take it and put it on a grinder, the back does not throw good sparks. But if it's an emergency and you need a fire now, yeah, using the blade to get your sparks if you have to. Hey, if you have to, you have to. And that part that I just did that on, is still plenty sharp. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's hair I just shaved off my arm after I struck my ferro rod with it. But I'm not saying you have to use your knife blade if you have a chopping tool. You can always use the blade of that. Strikes fine. This is my marbles axe. I haven't tried this yet, but I think it's gonna work. But it's got a pretty good edge on it. Oh. Nope, didn't work. Well, not well anyway. But what I'm saying is, guys, don't worry about the striker. You know, you should be able to find something to strike with. If you have char cloth, all you need is one little spark anyway. So that's the two ways in my mind you use a ferro rod. Like I said, you should be able to find something to strike your ferro rod with. If you have char cloth, I wouldn't worry about it at all. So anyway, so now, continuing on with our ferro rod series, we're going to go into different tenders and how we can use our ferro rod to light those. So this has been Clay with Deep South Bushcraft and Self-Reliance. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nothing like a text message during a video. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe and like, and if you will, leave me a comment on, you know, what you like about the videos, what you don't, you know, talk bad about me, whatever. But just let me know what you guys think and any ideas you have. And you know, like I said, if you just want to leave a comment to say, hey, what's up, man, appreciate it, or hey guy, I hate you, whatever. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one, and see you guys on the next one.